Continuing on my Reddit return. Here is a post from the childfree page that is, what is your dumbest reason not to have kids? To clarify, I believe that any reason not to have kids is good enough of a reason. Here. Not wanting them is enough reason on its own, and you are not owed an explanation to anyone. This is just for fun. So among your reasons to not have kids, which one do you think is the dumbest or shallower? I'll go first. You have more chances of getting lice if you live with a small child. I don't like lice. If those things were a nightmare, my whole childhood, and I absolutely would not want to deal with them. Messages cleared that up. And I do not want to deal with them now that I'm an adult. I absolutely love this conversation. I wasn't even thinking about lice, but lice in this, I'd have to return. I'd have to return to sender. And by return to sender, I do mean the Lord. Also, this hair keeps getting bigger by the moment, so I'm trying to record as much content as possible before I lock this thing up into a protective style. But also, hi, my name is Shayna. For those of you who are new here, I'm a journalist. I talk a lot about child-free living and decentering men on this platform. So if any of that sounds like a vibe, please like, share, and subscribe. And if you would like to learn how to become a journalist or a freelance writer so that way you can make money for your thoughts, if you'd like to book a one-on-one call, or if you'd like to join me on Patreon, all of the information for that will be in the description. Oh, and ways to, if you'd like to send a gift, ways to do that are also in the description. No pressure, but the information is there. Now, I have my own little list, but also I do want to share just like, because this one right here, it's just so perfect. And here it is. I don't like people touching my shit. I really don't. Now, here's the thing. My issue with this is like, I just lose my own things so often. And especially when they're small, like my ADHD is already raging. And if I move something, I generally already forget where it is. So if there's more than one person moving my stuff, I'm gonna lose it. I'm a crash out. I've also never lived with a man before. I've had roommates once upon a time, but my things were my things. Nobody touched my things, and that was nice. I feel like that's different when you start living with like partners and children, and I don't know how I could handle that and still remain out of prison. But also, I want to get to some of the things on my list over here. I don't like weird textures. I think that also goes with being neurodivergent, but things that are just like unexpectedly sticky or slimy or like just any form of an unusual wet or damp makes me want to rip the pieces of my skin that have touched that thing off. And one thing about children, and most children, babies, small people, they're just so sticky and wet in weird ways. And you can't pick up a baby like this because they're dense. You got it. And then they make you sticky, and especially when like they have upset tummies. I don't. Like when I see parents that have like dried vomit stains or just like they're in their comfort t-shirt and there's just all these odd textures on it and there's just this dead look in their eyes and they're like, yeah, Susie had a sandwich yesterday and it didn't sit well in her tom-tom. She's working it all. I'm like, oh my God. Are you okay? I know the answer, but are you? But I know the answer. Next, I will always try to out-menace somebody. And yes, that includes children. And generally, it's not even like I'm intentionally trying to out-menace somebody. I just want to see what's going to happen next. Like, we're doing a fun thing. I commit to the bit. I'm a Libra. And it's like, ooh. Okay, my life is a giant game of yes and. I would be great at Dungeons and Dragons, but you can't do that when you're a parent because you have to like teach them structure or an order and like how to be a functional member of society. And I'm like, no, but I want to see what he's going to do. But that would make me a bad parent. But also when kids get like hilariously disrespectful, like I can objectively recognize that that kid ate with that. Like, they weren't even thinking about it, consumed. And I can't fight them. I can't fight them because now I'm in jail. And once it's not like I would try to fight them because, once again, Libra, delicate, wouldn't fight. But I would say something that I also would think is hilarious. And then people would be like, "Ugh, you're a bad mom." And I'm like, did you hear what? No, I'm a bad mom. What about that? What about me? Like, what about my feelings? But no, you have to be the bigger person. You're a pan. I'm like, absolutely not. Next on the list, no more girl dinner. I live by girl dinner. A collection and ongoing series of snacks is my food pyramid. But now I have to create some kind of order to this because I have to keep somebody else alive and make sure that they're getting their daily recommended, I don't know, leafy greens. Sounds like so much work. Sounds like so much work. Like, I'd have to look at the child and be like, "Oh, you didn't get enough purples today." And I'm like, who am I? Who am I? I look at Olivia Pope. She's got her popcorn. She's got her wine. Clearly she's hitting the marks because look at her. But like, now I have to be like, oh, well, he does need a little bit more sweet potato in his life. Oh, also baby food? Baby food? I would be heaving as I'm trying to get the little airplane full of mushy peas into the... And then that baby would look at me and be like, clearly you don't want this. Why should I? And I'm like, I don't know, man. Eat it, please. And they'll be like, no. And I'll be like, oh my God. And then we'd both just be crying. Next on my list, I would have to party responsibly for 9 months. Like, listen, I already consider, like, I already party in what I would consider pretty responsibly, but what do you mean, like, I can't eat? I can't, like, do a random handstand. Not that I actually can, but what if I want to? What if I think, like, oh my gosh, I could totally do it today, but now I have, like, a baby in the front of me throwing off my balance, and then if I land forward, what happens to me and does the baby go into my spine? I don't know, but then everyone's gonna be like, oh my God, we can't take Shayna out anywhere. She's too irresponsible of a partier as a mom. And I'm like, oh, the vibe is ruined, and I can't. Oh my God, I feel like I'm gonna crash out over this hypothetical baby. Okay, and then the last one that I have on my list is I don't want to be forced to spend money on a baby. Like, I have no issue. Like, not even no issue. I enjoy buying things for other people's babies. I see a cute little shirt, I see tiny little shoes. I'm like, oh, just so tiny. Then I buy them for a baby and I go, here you go. Yay, put on the little shoes. They look like little doll shoes. It's adorable. I love that. I love doing that. Give me the baby for a couple hours. Give me the baby for, if it's a good baby, give me the baby for a weekend. Ooh, if it's like an older baby, like a teenager that I actually get along with, come on, we're going to Prague. Like, that, no issue with. But like, daycare is expensive. School is expensive, and they're constantly growing out of their clothes, and then they hit a growth spurt, and I'm like, what do you mean you're not gonna wear those jeans? I bought them last week and they're so cute. And they're like, no mom, I only wear Nikes now. And I'm like, oh my God, ew. So yeah, these are my reasons. I would love to hear yours. I would love to hear yours. Once again, there are no dumb reasons. I don't think any of these are dumb. I think these are completely justified. So yeah, that's all for now. Stay safe out there. Oh, and don't forget to like, share, subscribe. Yeah, all that good stuff. All right, bye.